Hi. So, all right. So sorry I run late. I didn't expect to, spend so much time at the supermarket. So, all right, let's get started. We're gonna first look at. Where am I? I want us to look at the contextual dialogue. me just share my screen quickly. This. Oh, that's the, so all of this is paper one. All right, yeah. So this is the paper two.
Miss, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
For the comprehension passage, do we have to answer in English or in Portuguese?
All right, let me go straight to that. This is your comprehension. This is the specimen paper. So this is the last section. Of course, it's up to you if you want to be, if you want it to be the first section you answer, that's absolutely fine. It doesn't matter which order you want, you go ahead and do your questions. Fact is, you answer it all. So the section 4 is the read and comprehension, and of course, answer all questions. So the instruction is read the following selection carefully. Do not translate, but answer the questions in English. It's capitalized. You will be penalized for disregarding these instructions. So that's as simple as it gets. You read the paragraph and then you answer the questions. So this is what your paragraph would look like. It's nothing. This is as it comes, right? Maybe sometimes it might be a line or two more or less, but it's basically this. So you read A Clever Cat, that's the title. So right away you don't know this is something about some cat. Now, before, one of the things I would advise you to do is before you jump into this, go straight to your questions. Answer in English the following questions based on the selection you have just read. Use a complete sentence for each response. See that? In English. As you're seeing here, all the questions are also in English. So this here, it's a good technique to practice or to add up in the exam, because in reading the questions, which is in English, it will give you an idea of what this paragraph is about. So question 1 is asking, where was the cat and the rat living? Right away, you know that this is not just about the cat, but there's a rat involved. B, what did they buy at the market? Again, they're telling you that this is where they went. That in this passage, you're going to read that they went to the market. Where did the cat tell his friend he was going? So he's got a friend and he left to go somewhere. Explain his reason for wanting to go there. So, you got to look for that. What did the cat do on arriving at the place? So wherever he wanted to go, he was able to get there and something happened. Explain why the cat wanted to return to the same place. So he went and then he wanted to go back. What was the cat's true motive for visiting that place? So he had a reason. It's not just a spur of the moment thing. When did the rat go to the place? So the cat went and then the rat went after. What surprise did he get when he arrived? So you know that there's something in store. Do you think the cat and the mouse were indeed best friends? Explain. So without even reading a line in this paragraph, you already know that this paragraph is about a cat and a rat. They were living at a particular spot. Then they went to the market to buy some things. The cat wanted to go to a particular place because of given reasons. Then when he arrived there, something happened. But he still wanted to go back. And then the rat also wanted to go to, also went to this place. When the rat arrived, something happened. And then you got to say, okay, you think you think they were actually best friends? Now, another thing is these questions, the way the questions are arranged, that's how you will find the answers in the passage. You know that question A, the answer to question A will be at the beginning. And then the answer to question B will be somewhere after, like maybe in the second line or the third line. And that is how the questions are placed in the order that the answers would appear. So you cannot go to look for a question, the answer for A in the last paragraph. You know it's somewhere at the top here. Now let's look at it. Gato e rato. So right away, even if you didn't know that rato is rat, by reading the question to say where the cat and the rat was living, don't tell you that this is rat. Right? So gato y rato eran mejores amigos. Remember, they already told you this question here is saying they were indeed best friends. So the first line is telling you that the cat and the rat were best friends. Eles moravam numa pequena vila e tinha muitos amigos, which answered question, the first question, where were they living? You see, moravam talks about they lived, past tense. I know you know pequena, villa is villa, and muitos amigos, y'all know that. So, you know, num dia frio, eles, you know what's frio, right? Y'all know what's frio. Eles decidiram comprar pouco de comida. Y'all know what's comida. Y'all know what's comprar. You can by just looking at it. Eles foram ao mercado e compraram pouco de queso e pote grande. Remember they say they went to the market, so this is the other answer coming in here. And this is what they buy. Do you know what this is? What is queijo? Anybody?
Cheese.
And pote. What's pote? What does it look like? Most of these words are cognates. By looking at the word, what do you think it means?
Pot? I don't know.
They buy a big pot or a big bowl, right? Eles deixaram o queijo no pote na igreja porque muitos dos seus amigos estavam sempre com fome. Uma noite, o gato faminto disse ao rato que queria ir à igreja para orar porque a sua mãe estava muito doente. I think I could pick up what's happening here. And this word, I use it a lot, especially when we're talking about activities. And this is giving you the answer for one of the questions. Where the cat wanted to go and why he wanted to go. A sua mãe estava muito doente. Ao chegar à igreja, o gato guloso comeu pedaço do queijo. No dia seguinte, o gato novamente disse ao rato que tinha de rezar por seu filho, que tinha quebrado a sua perna. Naquele momento, ele comeu todo o queijo. Yeah, pick up what's happening here? Anybody?
Miss, something with his mom is sick and he wants something with cheese.
Yeah. So he wanted to go in the church because his mother lives in the church and she's sick. But that was only the excuse. That was just an excuse because when he, but that was the excuse for him to use to eat the cheese. You see here? Naquele momento, naquele momento, in that moment, he ate all the cheese. Poucos dias depois, quando o inverno chegou, o rato feliz foi à igreja para comer o queijo. Para sua surpresa, não havia mais queijo. Ele procurou por toda a igreja e não conseguia encontrá-lo. Finalmente, o pobre rato lembrou de verdadeira razão porque o gato sempre quis rezar. So, okay, a few days later, or a few days after, when winter arrived, the rat was happy. He went into the church to get the cheese, to eat the cheese, but to his surprise, there was no more cheese. Then he would have remembered what the cat did and so on, and why the cat would have lied to him to go into the church. So basically, the cat and the rat, they buy this cheese. The cat suggested that they put the cheese in the church and save it until winter. But every night, the cat made an excuse to go see a sick mother. But as he goes to the church to see a sick mother, he eats the cheese. And now when finally it's winter time and the rat decided, oh, I have food, I'm gonna go get my food, there is no more. So that's basically what's happening here. Now it's okay if you read it and you can't translate every word. Now, if you try to translate each and every word in the exam, it's going to be very tedious. But if you read it holistically, you may get a better idea, right? Words like pobre means poor. Finally, the poor rat remembered, right? So sorpresa, surprise. Some of the words, they're very close to their English equivalent. So you take advantage of that. So this is what your comprehension will look like. Of course, you're not going to get this exact passage if you do good for you. But yeah, in the paper, this is exactly how, this is the passage that, this is how the passage will come. I'm sending you another passage right now in your WhatsApp chat from the 2019 paper. It's going to take me it's going to take me time to type it. So I'm just going to flash a picture and send it to you guys now so you can have a look at another one. And then I'll have to send you the questions. Let me see. And we can... So I'm just trying to get the questions here to you. This is the only paper 2 I have, because when you do the exam on the paper, you have to return it. And I've tried on more than one occasions to get other past papers, but no luck. Yeah, so all right, so this is what your comprehension looks like. Now I want us to go to the contextual dialogue. See the instruction that's given there? Contextual dialogue. So this is the section 3. It says use 80 to 100 words to complete the dialogue between you and Michelle. That's Michelle, yeah. By giving your responses. Responses to all of the cues listed below must be included in the dialogue. So this is what's given. So here's what the dialogue will be based on. You are briefing Michelle, a student who is traveling to Boa Vista in Brazil for the first time, in order to help her enjoy her visit there. So that's the general idea. That this is going to be a conversation between you and somebody who's going to Brazil for the first time. So in your dialogue, you're going to have to include things like greetings, directions on how to get to Boa Vista, information on accommodation options, as like booking hotel rooms, recommendations on tours, attractions, and cultural events, thanks and farewell. Now, as long as you include these 5 items within the dialogue, you will get your marks. Of course, the dialogue is going to spread out, so let's go straight into it. So here it says, write your answer to question 3. You want to write that. So this is question number 3 here. Now, always when you are doing dialogue, before putting your answer here, read the next line. It is a conversation. Michelle starts the conversation. You are building on what Michelle says. But also, remember, this line is built on your responses. So it all must go into a smooth flow. So the first one is very simple. The first one is always very simple. Oi, bom dia, tudo bem? So you respond, bom dia, tudo bom? And then Michelle says now, gostaria de visitar Boa Vista em Roraima durante as minhas férias. Como ir de Letem na Guiana para lá? You understand what's happening here, anybody?
Miss, something with Latam and Guyana. During her stay, she went from Latam to Guyana.
So
Oh, she
goshtaria,
wants to know.
what's goshtaria? This is a word that's used often.
Would like.
Right. I would like to visit Boa Vista and Roraima during my holiday. How to get to Latam? How to go to Latam in Guyana to there? So basically, she's asking, okay, how do I get to Latam and Latam to Boa Vista? So how would you put this together?
On the bus. She can go by bus.
Say you travel. I don't think I'll be able to type here. Hold on. What the hell is the? Yeah, hearing any noise from my background? That's a drill. Who the hell is using a drill at this hour? Jesus, can't deal with some of these lines, you know. Hold on. I'm gonna put this over in a Word document so we can type. So new share. I need to make document. My God. All right, you should be seeing a Word document, right? Yeah, let me just, because I copied from a PDF, it comes like this. So this. Jeez, you are, oh God. Almost there. All right, here we are. I'm just gonna. So we say, okay, so we were saying we can say oi. We can also say bom dia. Estou muito bom. I'm very good. So then Michelle says, gostaria de visitar Boa Vista em Roraima durante minhas férias. Como ir de Letem na Guiana para lá? How do I get to Letem? How to go to Letem, Guyana to the so okay, we're in Guyana, we gotta go to Letem, and then we gotta cross over to Boa Vista. Anybody ever went to that trail before?
Yeah, miss.
Yes.
How is it?
Scenic.
You know what? I want to take such a trip, but you know what I'm scared of? What if on the road or on the trail something goes wrong with the vehicle and there's nobody in sight to help you?
That's why a lot of people will going together, miss. So
They
in
gotta
case
go
one,
in like a bunch of people, like 3-4 vehicles go together.
yeah, miss.
Maybe it's a trip I'll take sometime later. All right, so we can say você pode viajar. You can travel com ônibus with bus to Letem. Let's say para Letem. Then what? How do we put the other? Where's my phone, young lady? Give me my phone. Yes, after that, so you can travel with bus to Letem. After that, what do we put? You want my phone for 4 minutes? No, just now. And then what happened? How do you cross over with Letem? Bridge or boat or how?
Yeah, I think the bus goes on a thing and then it crosses over.
So then you say in town, then you say party.
Yeah, Latin Bridge.
Then you can travel to Boa Vista. But you have to cross a bridge, you see? Is there a name for the bridge? All right, so then you can say, so then you can travel to Boa Vista. I'm trying to structure this in a way that it would be easy for you to use familiar words then. By or you can say by or driving Jerishin, by driving over na language is Ponchi. Make sure. Yeah. Ponchi. Takatu. So you can travel with bus to Letem, then you can travel to Boa Vista, driving over the Takatu Bridge, driving Dirigino. Good. So now Michelle is asking, como vai ser esta viagem? How is it going to be this trip? Or how is this trip going to be? So what will be an appropriate answer to put there? I am thinking that's what I'm thinking in terms of duration. So we can say esta viagem, this trip é muito horas. This trip is many hours. So then Michelle asked, ainda sou estudante. Que tipos de alojamento há? What is she asking about there? So I'm a student. What type of she's basically asking about accommodation, right? Alojamento, accommodation. So you can just put there are many hotels in Boa Vista. And next she's saying that she heard a lot about the national park in Mount Roraima. Can you describe to me and tell me how to get there? A very easy way you can say, você pode, you can travel for taxi. You can travel by taxi. And then Michelle is now saying there are museum, parks, monuments, shopping malls. She's asking, are there these things there? So this is a yes or no question. So you say yes. Are there interesting cultural events and typical food? Are there interesting cultural events and typical foods during the month of June? Sim. There is Festa Junina in Boa Vista. Festa Junina is a real festival. celebrated in Brazil in the month of June. So, yeah. So that that covers that question here. And so Michelle is saying, Pong, agradeço muito a sua ajuda. Muito obrigada por ter me ajudado. So basically she's saying thank you for your help and thank you for, and then you say, de nada. Right? Somebody thanks you, you say you're welcome. You want my phone for 4 minutes? I can't give you my phone. Yes. So let's go back again. Now, of course, Nathan, that triple song's very exhausting that you went on, man. All right, let's go back from the top. Now, of course, you're not going to get this exact dialogue, but there are ways in which you can go about making it easy on you to answer. All right, so the answers that we put in, just to see it clearly, I'm just going to put it in italic so you can see the variation. Now, some of the questions, like this one right here, yes, it's okay to put yes, because it's basically questions they're asking and you're providing answers. So some questions just warrants a yes or a no, right? And that's okay. So again, when they greet you, you have to greet them accordingly. If the person says good morning, you have to say good morning. You can't just say, you can't let them say bonjour and you can come put boa noite. You gotta greet them on the same level. If they ask you how are you, you're supposed to say that you're well, even though you're not. Now, it's important to make note of like verbs that they give. Remember when you're using it, when you change a verb to suit you, AU, that verb has to end in O. Well, we didn't have any of that here. Now, so you try to keep it as simple as possible. Even if you didn't know this part, you could have just put, okay, you can travel with bus to Bletem, then you can travel to Boa Vista. Even if you leave out this part, at least you would have answered part of the question, right? If you didn't even remember that part. So you might not, even in the exam, this can happen, that you know to answer part of the question, but you can't really answer the other part. Don't let that stop you. Put the part that you know. It will at least give you a mark or 2 marks out of the 3. So don't leave it blank. Michelle, and how is the travel or how is the trip? How is the trip going to be? You say that this trip is a lot of hours. And well, this one here, I'll send this to you so you can review it. But like I said, again, you're not going to have a dialogue exactly like this, but it's just to see how you can maneuver what they're asking. There are certain words like HA means there is or there are. If it's a question mark, it's going to become are there or is there. So these are some things you take note of. But of course, your dialogue will always end with something without obrigado. So you being the person to end the conversation, you just say de nada. Let me see what the dialogue in 2019 paper looks like. What they ask. I'll send you guys. And we can look at this dialogue also. I'll just pull it up on screen. All right, let me see what we have, what we're working with. All right, so I would have sent you the one from the 2019 paper. You can, let's go into the WhatsApp group and let me retrieve that. Are you seeing the dialogue I sent there? All right, let's look at the dialogue. So this is from the 2019 paper, which is the only paper two I have. It says in the blank spaces provided, complete the dialogue between you and your friend. Give your response in Portuguese using between 80 to 100 words. That instruction remains the same. So it says John received a sponsorship from his uncle in England to do his internship at a hospital. Brief John on what to expect on arrival. Responses to all the cues listed below must be included in the completed dialogue. So we got to respond to all the cues. So we've got 5 cues there. We're doing greetings and arrival, information. We got to look at pickup arrangements at the airport, information on financial requirements, recommendations on tours, traction, and cultural events, and expressing gratitude. So let's look at the completed dialogue. It says Theo Michael, because it's uncle, right? So okay, so you're John. In this dialogue, you're John. So when you say você, it's actually like if John is speaking. So the uncle is who's going to sponsor him to England. And you're going to assume that, okay, this is a Portuguese dialogue. You're probably living in Brazil. So Tio Michael speaks first. Oi, boa tarde, tudo bem? How would you respond to this?
Boa tarde, muito bom.
All right, so we respond by saying, all right, so I'm trying to see. All right, just look at the dialogue and look at the what is happening in the dialogue, and then you do it. Just take like 5 minutes or so. I'm trying to see to put it on screen for us to put the answers together. So meanwhile, you just All right. So I was scanning the document while I was giving you some time, so I could have it on the screen to share in a better quality. So this is what we're looking at. So yeah, we would have went through all of the instructions and we're here. So we're saying, so Tio Michael says, oh, I both are to the bank, but I still can't something, man. Hold on. Add text. Oh, great. So we can add text. So you can say, oi, boa tarde. What else did the uncle ask? So, bem, você. All right, so the uncle says, oi, boa tarde, tudo bem? So you say, oi, boa tarde, tudo bem, e você? Now, why did I say e você, which means and you, is because in the very next line, you see, she says, bem obrigado. So this is why I said you need to read the next line so that you can know what you have to write. So remember, if the uncle says, I'm good, I'm fine, thank you, it means you would have had to ask that question and you. So then Tio Michael says, bem obrigado. Eu tinha boas notícias para vocês. Para você, eu te darei uma ajuda financeira para você fazer o seu estágio no hospital daqui. What's that about?
Is he telling him that he got news about the hospital? He's going to help him sponsor him for the hospital.
Basically, right? That Uncle Michael is saying, I have good news for you, that I'm going to help finance you for you to stay to work at a hospital here or sponsor you to do your I just want right. So if somebody tells you something like that, what how would you respond to that person? Anybody, how would you respond to that person if they give you such a news? Anybody? Yeah, you can thank them, but I mean, somebody's just telling you that they're gonna sponsor you to go and work in a whole other country. Like, are you just gonna say, I am happy? All right, first you can say something like "iso," that is oh, we can't get the accent. Incrível, that is amazing. Eu estou muito feliz. I am very happy. All right. Now, I just want to go and look at the next question. So the uncle says, você precisa, you need to arrive here on the 23rd of this month. So basically, you will have to ask now when. Right? When do I travel? Or when do I have to travel? Or when do I need to arrive? So you can say quando eu preciso chegar. When do I need to arrive? Ali, there. When do I need to Shigar is a E. Arrive there. Right? Ali. Aki is here, but Ali is there. So next we're gonna go to this one here. This is the other page. So Uncle Michael now says, você precisa chegar aqui até dia 23 do mês que vem. Eu vou te buscar no aeroporto. So this uncle is saying you need to arrive here on this date, and I'm going to receive you or collect you at the airport. So what do you think you're gonna say now? What do you want to tell your uncle at this point? Anybody? But remember, you know your uncle. Now, if you look at the next one, it says good. So remember, you have to say something here that will make your uncle says great or good.
You can say I'm very excited.
Yes, you can say I am very excited, or all right. So we can say how do we say excited? All right, let me just, where is my cursor? Oh. So let's say now estoy muito animada. I'm very excited. Eu vou começar. I'm going to start preparando para minha viagem. Get that? Don't sound what does it? I'm very excited. I'm going to begin preparing for my trip. Or I'm going to start preparing for my trip. So basically, preparation would include packing, getting your documents, and the necessary. So you're going to start prepare for your trip. So the uncle says, that's good. So what is the uncle now saying here? So basically, the uncle is saying, good, he's going to arrange for the passage and the ticket, and that he has to arrive 2 weeks before. So before he starts class, before the initial class, right? He got to arrive 2 weeks before he actually begins. Because I guess if it's a scholarship, it's a scholarship. Just want to go back. Internship. So if it's an internship, you're going to still have to attend classes, right? So the word here, aula, tells you that, all right, that he's gonna have so his internship is gonna start at a certain date. He needs to arrive 2 weeks in front, and to get settled, I guess, he's probably gonna have orientation, and they're probably gonna have what we call an induction course. Like you just get like the brief tour of the place so you know where is what. Remember, it's a new place, just like you would have on your orientation day at your new school, where you come in, you meet the teacher, the staff, you're given a tour of the compound. All right, this is canteen, this is washroom, this is where your classroom is going to be, this is going to be your teacher, so on and so forth. So he'd probably have all of that in that 2 weeks before he's in his first class. What would you say now? Now, remember, before you say anything, you need to look at this one also, where Uncle Michael, oh, go boy, I'm yawning. Uncle Michael is saying, yes, sim, você precisa trazer dinheiro para usar durante os passeios, mas eu vou cuidar dos outros gastos. What is Uncle Michael telling this fella here now? You can pick up it talking about money, but what is Uncle Michael talking about there? All right. So basically, yeah. So you don't know what you need to ask, right? Remember your question. It's like you're providing a question for this answer, not the one at the top, the one at the bottom. You're writing a question that will give you this answer here. So what is the question? This answer is saying yes, you need to have money to use during the travel, but I will take care of the other spendings or the other expenses. So what question will you ask to give such a response or to get such a response? Basically, here's the thing, and you can do it. You see this line here? This entire line? You take that and you turn it around to suit you. So instead of saying você, you say eu. Eu preciso trazer dinheiro, sorry, dinheiro para usar durante os passeios. So you're asking, do I need to bring money to use during the trip? So Uncle says, yes, you need to have money to use during the trip, during your flight, but I will take care of the other spending. So this is a nice way to really get your answer also by looking at the response. So all you needed to do there was change você to eu and precisar to preciso. All
What?
right? And you put a question mark. So eu preciso, I need, changes around to do I need. As long as there's a question mark, that's how it automatically changes. So you don't have to think about how do I write do I need. All right. So in the exam, you can look for questions and you can look at your responses. Remember, I don't know. I remember when I was in primary school and I started doing comprehension, my teacher will tell me that half of the answers already in the question. So it's like you have the answer here, so you just got to work backwards to get the question. So if you get what I'm saying. So that's how we can answer this question here. And even the other questions, if it's, so now we need to read this answer here. Yeah. We need to read this answer and form the question that would give this answer. So it says, bom, já que você tem 2 semanas, nós podemos visitar o museu e o Parque Nacional. So the uncle is saying, good. So he's saying now that you would have 2 weeks. We can visit the museum and the park. So what question will you ask to get this answer?
You could say, can we visit the museum and the park?
All right, you can say, can we visit? All right, so how do we put it? Let me see if you can form this question given by looking at the answer, by taking a piece from the answer and make it a question. I want to see some responses from in the chat. No response? What question will you ask to get this
Miss,
answer?
you could say, nos podemos visitar o Museo Nacional y o Parque Nacional with the question mark.
Can we visit the museum and the national park? Okay, yeah, that could be one response. You're being specific and he's saying good. But then look at how it's structured. He didn't respond directly to such a question to say, yes, we can visit. He's saying, good. You will, now that you already have 2 weeks, we can. So you gotta look form a question around this 2 weeks here that he's talking about.
Oh, so it's like, I'm asking, is there any places that we can visit within these 2 weeks or something like that?
Yeah, it's basically you're asking what can you do in these 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So we can take part of it, but you don't need to. But he's saying good. So why did he say good?
Or probably we can say, in English is saying, is it okay if we can check some or visit some national sites or tourist sites, something like that, in the country or something like that? As the international, national.
All right. I'm still trying to see how this. Or you can probably start, or you can probably, I was thinking maybe we can say something in the sense that I will be there. So you can say, Evo, I'm going to be there. All right. Then you can say now, nos podemos visitar uns lugares por as 2 semanas. I'm going to be there. Can we visit some places for the 2 weeks? And cheese before. Look here. Antes do início, before. I gotta come back here. Before the I'm not even what hold on. See where anicio das olas. Okay, I should probably go into the next line. Okay, I need to come into the next line here. Antes do inicio das olas. So this is it. So you say I'm going to be here. Can we visit some places for the 2 weeks before the first or the beginning? And this is good. You would have 2 weeks, or we can visit the museum and the park. So you're taking a piece from here and you're taking a piece from there, and you get your question. So we gotta look at the next answer. So the next answer says yes. You have a lot. I know that you like football, so I recommend that you visit the stadium and the Buckingham Palace. So he talks about football. He's recommended they visit this studio. Is studio? That's not stadium or stadium. I don't. Stadium. So he's recommended the stadium and the Buckingham Palace. So what question do we put here? What question do you think you have to ask to get such a response to say that? I know you like football, so I recommend that we visit the stadium and the Buckingham Palace. Are there otras lugares para visitar? Are there other places to visit? So he says, yes, there are lots. I know you like football. I recommend so and so. We can go here and we can go there. And then this last answer here is, I hope to see you soon. What do you think you want to put here?
You could say like, okay, thank you, I can't wait.
Thank you, can come at the back.
Okay, you could say I can't wait, thank you.
Right, so we can do that. We can take from here and put it here. Eu now espero. I cannot wait. What? Where are we going again? England? Is England? I think I read something about England.
Yes,
Yes,
it is.
England. So you can say, I cannot wait to arrive na England. So England, how do we say England in Portuguese? Inglaterra? I think it's Inglaterra. Or is that in Spanish? It's Inglaterra. Not in in Inglaterra. I cannot wait to arrive in England, Inglaterra. But if you can't remember this and you give your country name, you just write the country name as this. And it's like, no, but I just remember I cannot wait. We use the wrong for but it's the same thing. I hope and I cannot wait. It's the same thing. What am I doing? Yeah. And then you say, hey, you can say igualmente, which means same here. Até breve. Same here. See you soon. And that's the end of it. So we can go back. So we would have covered greetings and arrival information. Arrival information is here. When he's going to arrive and pick up. And then what else we had? Information on financial requirements. We talked about money here. Then recommendation on tourist attraction. We started here and come over here. And then expressing gratitude, of course, comes in here. So we can add obrigada here. Obrigado. Thank you. Same here. See you soon. Gratitude. So you would have covered all of this. Would I? Yeah, so this would have covered this would have covered it for this dialogue here. So when you go into the exam and you get to dialogue, sometimes what they will do, you see how this one here, you're actually like we're providing the question for the answer. Sometimes it's the opposite way where you're given the question and you have to answer the question. It all depends on who is speaking, but you just don't go and write your answers willy-nilly, right? You need to read what's before and what comes after. So can I save? I don't want to save this because if I use it back, I don't want to have the answers there already. So what do I do? If I click save, oh, I click save. Save, and this is save as. So I can probably, now it's gonna write over. All right, let's leave it. If you want to look at the answer here, what else do you want us to look at? We can't really study a comprehension because the passages will change. So I just need to, it just basically giving you points on how to. That document that I shared yesterday in the WhatsApp group on the vocabulary and so on, it's a good document. It has, you know, vocabulary words and phrases you can use. They're going to come in handy for your directed situations like how to apologize, how to say thank you, congratulations, give toast, and those kind of things. Now, before I close, I just want to go back to this letter. Let me just, I got to share this new screen. No, I'm already sharing it. Sorry. You're seeing you're seeing the letter? Are you seeing a letter on screen?
Yeah, miss.
Great. So I just want to go through this with you. Again, content of the letter, I don't know what it will be, but at least there are some things that are going to repeat themselves that you need to prepare for. So the section 2 is the letter writing its word short marks. The instructions as you see on screen right now is what you're going to see on your paper tomorrow. Use the cues provided below to write a letter in Portuguese of no more than 130 to 150 words. Use appropriate tense or tenses. You will be penalized for disregarding these instructions. They always say that. So the letter. So just like how it's here in English, that's what you're going to have on your paper. No fear about this part here. So this one is, your class is going on a trip to Latin. You have an aunt who lives there. Write a letter to her in which you greet her and inquire about her well-being. Give details about your class trip, when, where, preparations you have made. Ask about the place, whether places to visit. Mention 2 activities you would like to do when you get there. Do not write your real name and address, but include the date in Portuguese, and use the appropriate beginning and ending. In that document that I sent yesterday, little after 4, has beginnings and endings in Portuguese. Now, this is what you can go into the exam with. So you can have your village name. Let's say you live in Timeri. So you put Timeri, you can even put Demerai. Good. And then your date. Tomorrow's date will be 20th. So you put 20 GMAIO G2024. That's tomorrow's date. All right. So you finish here. You don't get a mark or 2 there. You come here now. Whoever you're writing to, you say querido or querida. And then you put either the name of the person, or if it's your aunt or your uncle or whoever. So uncle, aunt, cousin, friend. All right. So that's another mark you get there. Now, this is what you can go into the exam room with. You can formulate an introduction. Yes, you can use caro as well. Caro, cara. So your introduction now, you can prep it before going in the room. But remember, you got to prep it and keep it in your mind, now with the paper. So all letters, because we're doing friendly letters, all letters will have you greeting the person, asking how they're doing, on that level. So you can start by saying, dear whoever. Well, it's tomorrow afternoon. So you say, boa tarde. If you're writing to your friend. Boa tarde, meu amigo. Meu amigo. Full stop. Okay, capital B. I'm getting sloppy. Hi. How are you? E sua família. How are you and your family? Eu espero. I hope what? I hope você está. I hope you are well. I hope you are well. Eu sou, I am, or eu estou. I am muito bem, or muito bem. I'm very good. And you can even put, okay, I'm running out of lines, so I'm going to come here. I am very good. And minha família está bem. And my family is well. You can even go and add nós temos uma casa nova. Agora. Even if the letter doesn't ask anything about that, you can put that. So this is an introduction where that you can prep yourself to go in. Now from here you can write about anything. Right? Even if, let's say, the letter is about you visiting or you thanking the person or whatever, it's just giving them a basic information about yourself. So you say, okay, so let's say you're writing. So you said, dear friend, good afternoon, my friend. How are you? Como vai você? We can add você here. How are you and your family? I hope you are. Eu espero que você. I missed something. I hope that you are well. I am very good. And what happened? Oh, this word. This gotta come here. I don't want the thing to duplicate, man. What do we see here now? So I am very good and my family is well. We have a new house now. Even though the letter doesn't ask you about nothing about your house, it's just giving a little bit of information. Plus you're adding to your words. Now it all depends on the context of the letter. You can even add more to this, right? You can even add something to say like, oh, my wife had a baby, or my mother had a baby, or my son is going to school now. It all depends on the context, right? But this is just like a little prep into it before you go in. So definitely you're going to get some marks here. So let me say let's just look at worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is you know nothing on this letter. I'm not scaring you. I'm just looking at the worst case scenario. The best case scenario is that you can write a letter and get your full marks. And I want that for everybody. But I'm just saying you don't want to go in and leave this paper blank. You want to have something on your paper. So you know that the date tomorrow, you know your salutation, you know your introduction. And from here on now, you go based on what they ask you here, right? You put here. Now your closure, let's just come to the bottom here. Now your closure also you can prepare. So one of the things you can write is eu espero, I hope that você escreve. I hope that you write, or I hope to see you if you want. However you want to put it. So, eu espero que você escreva breve. Remember we had breve just now. I hope that you write soon. Or you can say something like, eu espero, I hope to see you soon. Eu espero ver você breve. I hope to see you soon. Right? Something to that extent. And then you close. In that document I sent also has closure. And so your body, you can prepare something. You don't have to take this what I gave you. I'm just showing you what I have here. So when you go in, you can actually, you're going with something already. And if you know you have to memorize it and you might forget, as soon as you go in the exam, turn to the letter section and write out this piece. Write out the first part. And then you could come back. And I notice here, you see how they're talking about letter? Sometimes you never know if there's something else in the paper that gives you. And remember, you can take information from different part and bring it in here, you know. Please know how to describe the weather. We did raining, está chovendo. If you got to talk about the weather, you can ask about the weather. No places to visit. like we would have done in this one here. How to say museum, park, beach. Everybody knows beach prior. And know to tell date, this date, know to say dates, because there's a good chance you may have to mention the date of something. Yeah, and know, and you know, need to know activities. Even if it's not in a letter, it may come in directed situation, it may come in the dialogue. Know at least two activities you do at weekends and activities you may do in school. You don't know where they may ask or if they may ask, but at least going into the exam with something. Now, I know tomorrow is a very, very tax day for the arts people and for the science people, business people. Business people, it's only Portuguese, right? Tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, miss.
Good. So you have in the morning, science people, you have your chemistry, don't worry. The matriz science people, I know, yeah, I go make though. Nathan, please study your body, because HSB is all about the human body. Make sure you know all the do's and don'ts of your body. And so, Nathan, you don't have anything in the morning. It's still in the afternoon. You have to do two. And the science people, of course, you gotta know. Well, it's chemistry, so you know you've got your chemical formulas and whatever. I don't know chemistry. I'm just feeling my way out here. But yeah, sometimes when if you go blank and you look about, you might see an answer floating in the air. Just sometimes you look over and you look at the table and you're like, oh yeah, remember when you were sitting there and Miss was talking about X or Y or Z? Yeah, you never know. Inspiration comes from many places. Sometimes a Johnny look on stage and he remembers like, oh yeah, I remember the day I was on stage studying and we did this, or I read this part. Yeah, it happens. I can do good, man. Look, and the best thing about it, you're gonna have some quiet, some peace to really focus on your exam. Let's hope that nobody shows up tomorrow. I was thinking of coming in tomorrow, but I'm not sure we're gonna be. And of course, Nathan is gonna be praying, and I don't know where Sam is. Sam is probably in church praying. And then Jedediah gonna throw in a few words there. I don't know who else is being in church. I don't know where is Jess. Jess, you must see in church. But yeah, so this is what we're working with. I don't know where am I? Which part of the syllabus I really man? I don't even know which part of the syllabus I am. Anyway, yeah, so that's basically what I can say to you for now. If I think you have the ability, of course you have the ability. You've made it very far. You can bring the distinction, you can bring the grade 1, you can bring so many things. And, I mean, I would have worked, you would have worked. I've seen a lot of dedication in you compared to the last set of students. So there is a chance, there is great chance for better grades than last year. And of course, when this weekend coming again, we can talk about the paper 1. I'll be there to read for the paper 1 as well. The paper 1 is in the morning or the afternoon? Somebody tell me. If it's in the afternoon and your morning is free, then I can come in the morning, even if the strike is still on, and we can do some past papers in the morning session. I'm trying to go back to the syllabus. I don't even know which part of the syllabus I am. Probably start my top. So anything else y'all want me to touch on?
It's in the afternoon. Paper 1 is in the afternoon.
So I guess when the time comes for paper 1, I can come in the morning. If you guys don't have an exam in the morning, and we can go through, we can run through a few things, but is the comprehension most difficult? I would say the comprehension is the least of your problems, because you have the questions there in English. We're putting your answers in English, and just do like I advise, read your questions first, which gives you an idea of what your comprehension is about. From the time you go to your question, it gives you a general idea what you're going to be reading in this passage. So whichever section you want to do first, it's up to you. Remember the directed situation or responsive situation, just one sentence. And if you feel like your answer needs 2 sentences, please don't put 2 sentences, put a comma, or make use of your conjunction, and then but and with, and them kind of. So it's one sentence, because you don't want to put your answer. Sometimes your answer that would really give you a mark in your second sentence, and people don't mark it. And I think that is what would have probably happened to some students in the past. And their answers were there, but they just wasn't marked, because I did not know that these people were so serious with this one sentence thing until a marker of the exam, when I went to a workshop last July during the holiday, and they spoke about this, that this is one of the things that's happening, that you're not sticking to the instruction. They say one sentence, you write 2-3 sentences, and then you don't get marks, even though you have what it is, because that's how they are instructed to mark the paper. So please make sure all your answers is written in one sentence. We're at the paper 2. We're going through the paper 2 here. Yeah, so paper 1. When we're ready for paper 1, I don't want to touch nothing on this paper 1 right now. Paper 2 is what is it. So manage your time well. Any other question? You can go through that same document I would have sent yesterday afternoon. Remember how to say thank you, congratulations, happy birthday, I am sorry, you have my sympathy, on those kind of things. It's all in that document that I sent yesterday, so go through that. So if there's nothing else for us to look at this time, we can probably end here, so that those people who have 2 exams tomorrow can probably take some time to go through for that exam also, because they're all important. And all the best for tomorrow, not just for Portuguese, but both of the exams. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao, ciao.